So now we will talk about the icons inside the Material UI. So as per the name suggests, the icons are used to display the SVG icons inside the web page. So the icons are used to display the SVGs onto the web page, and we can use any icon from the Material UI icons. So we need to install a new package as the Material UI icons to use the icons, and there are multiple different icons available inside the separate components. So we can just call the separate components, and then we can just directly use the icons. And then we can have the icon button for the button effect inside the icons. So what does that mean? So by default the icons doesn't have the button effect. So if you will click any icon, so there won't be any effect. So for that effect we use the icon button to add the button ripple effect to the icons, and then we will see the icon button after this slide. And then we can have some properties of the icons as well. So we have the properties like the color to define the color of the icon, and then we have the size property to define the size of the icons as well. And then we have some additional properties like the SX for the stylings as well. So this is about the icons, and now we will see about the icon button. So what does the icon button means? So the icon button is the button which is specially used for the icons inside the Material UI, and it adds a ripple button effect inside the icons which transforms an icon to a clickable icon, and there will be a button ripple effect. So this is the icon button, and it supports all of the button properties like the colors, we can have the margins, we can have them paddings. So it supports all of the button properties and even events of the button as well. So now we will see the properties. We have the on click to add some on click event to the button, and then we can have the color like the primary, secondary or inherit to the button as well. And then we have some additional properties like the SX, we can have the margins, we can have the paddings, we can have any property which the button accepts. So this is about the icon button, and it is almost same like the Material UI button. So it is just specifically used for the icon. So now we will just move on to the icons of the Material UI. So now we enter the icon, and now we can see we have the Material SVG icons, and then we need to install a new package as this MUI/icons-material to use the icons, and then we can see the list of the icons as well. So now we have a link of the search the full list of these icons. So there are multiple icons that are available. Like now you can see we have the ABC, we have this icon, we have the alarm icon, we have the accessibility icon, and then we have all of the icons that the Google Material has provided. And then we can have some different variant like the outlined, we can have the rounded icons as well. Now you can see the alarm has the rounded, and then you can have a two-tone effect as well inside the icons, and then you can have the sharp effect inside the icons as well. So all of these properties are now available, and then we can use any icon which we want. So to use that we just need to click any icon. Like if I want to use this alarm icon, so now we have the import statement from this, so we can just click that and it will be copied, and then we can just use that icon. So now we will just move on to the Visual Studio Code to test the icons inside the Material UI. So now we can just use the icons. So for that we need to just move on to the icons, and then we need to install this package to use the icons. So we can just copy that npm command. So if you are using the yarn, then you can just use the yarn as well, but I will not use the npm because I have the npm. So we can just copy that, and then we can just move on to the terminal, select a new terminal, and then we can just move on to the Material UI, and then we can just install this package. So it will just install the icons. So we have to wait till it completes the installation of the icons, and the icons are now installed, and now we can just use the icons. So for that we need to move on to the Material UI icons, and then we can just select any of the icon. Like if you want to select this account icon, so you can just click on that, and then you have the import statement, then you can just click on that again, and then it will be copied. So after that you can just move on, and then you can just add the line here, and then the account circle icon will be then imported. And after that you can just move on to the box and add this icon here as the account circle icon, and then you can just close this. So if I will now save, if I will now just move on to the application to see if there is any change. Like now I'm into the React app. Now you can see now we have the icon onto the web page. So if I will now just zoom it out, so now you can see now we have the icon. And as we have discussed earlier that we can use the icon button to add the button ripple effect, so we can also use the icon button here. So we can just have the icon button, and after that we can just import this, and then we can just wrap the account circle icon between the icon buttons. So we can just save, and then we can just move on to the application, and then you will see now we have the button. And if I will now just click on the button now you will see now we have the ripple effect on the icon button as well. So now this is the icon, and now we can see the icon here as well. So now we will see an example. So now we will create a navigation bar, and this icon would be there on the navigation bar. So for that we can just move on, and then we can just have the app bar, and then we will have the toolbar inside that. So we'll have a toolbar, and after the toolbar then we will have the icon button, and then we will have this icon over here. So we can just cut from here, and then we can just paste. So if I will now save, so now you can see now we have the icon onto that navigation bar as well. So this is how we can use the icon, and then we can use any icon over here as well. So if you want this icon, and then we can have any icon like this icon as well inside that. So we can just get this icon, and then we can just copy, and then we can just paste another icon over here, and then we can just add here, and after that we can just have another icon button, and inside that icon button we will have this icon there. So now we can just copy that account arrow circle icon, and then we can just have here the arrow circle icon. If I will now save, so now you will see there will be two icons onto the web page. So this is how we can use the icons inside the Material UI. And if you want to change the color of the icon as well, so for that we can just move on to the icon, and then we can just have a color prop, and then we can give any color which we want. So we can give the any color, so we can see what color it accepts. So now it accepts the disable primary secondary, so we can have a secondary here. So now you will see the color will be secondary of this icon now, and then if we give the inherit, so then it will be inherited by the parent component. So now you can see now we have the black again, and if you want the color as a different one, then you can select any other color, like you can have the error color as well. So now you can see this icon has the error color, and then after that you can just have the on click event also after this icon button. So you can have on click, and then you can have on click, and then you can just have a function as the alert. So all of the JavaScript events are now supported inside the icon button as well. So we can just add icon selected, so we can just save, and then we can just move on to the application. So once I will click on this button as well, so now you will see the icon is selected. So this is how the icon buttons and the icons work. So now we can use any event of the JavaScript inside the on click of the icon button. So this is all about the icons and the icon buttons inside the Material UI.